Right, so we are going to create this exercise using these car images that we have, and then we are going to use keyframes. So I'm going to show you two ways you can do this. First method is using keyframes, the second method is using motion tweening. So let's do both of these, and then we'll move forward. First of all, I need my images, so I'm going to go ahead and import images to the library. This is the first car, and then we have the second car, and we ultimately what we need to do is to produce something like this. First of all, produce something like this: two cars, car or truck, whatever, coming towards each other, and then they collide, and one of them, it gets over the other. Okay, and then we'll add some sounds to it also later on. So we have imported our two car images just now, and then I am going to import what I need, one more thing called the sound. Okay, I've got this sound, so I'm going to use this and these two images. So first of all, there is no background. When you create a new file, that's when you can choose the background. So it's over here. You can choose the background, you can choose the speed of the image of the animation from here, 24 frames per second, and you can also choose the background color. If you forgot that, you can change the speed from here. This is the general speed of the whole movie, and also from document properties. Right click on the stage, document properties, and then you can change the color from here. So I'm going to change the color, keep this color, let's say, and it should come like this. I chose this color, I believe. Alright, so now I'm showing you how to do the same thing, this accident through keyframes. So look at this, I have this car. First of all, let's scale it down through free transform. You can click on this tool, or you can also right click, go to free transform. It's the same thing. So I reduce the car's size and bring the other car also on the scene. Reduce its size also. Now let's say if both of your cars are looking towards the left and you want to change them, what do? Modify, transform, flip horizontal, and then you can move it towards right or left. So for now our cars are actually in the correct direction, so no need to do that. So one thing I need to do is I will just create something which will look like a road, just an imaginary line. I'll make it a little more broader. I'll create this line so that it will look that both of these cars are coming towards each other. Now look at this, please. The cars are coming towards each other. You can do this through motion tween and as well as keyframes. So I'm going to do this first of all through keyframes. So let me just create some keyframes quickly with 1 or 2 frames gap. So I'm gonna create a new keyframe, move the cars closer to each other, only the cars, not the whole scene. And then on a new keyframe, move the car closer to each other, and then on a new keyframe again, move the car closer to each other, and you can make these changes on the same keyframe easily. But when you're using motion tween, you have to have different layers. Right now we are not using motion tween. So that's when the car collide each other, and that's the collision. After the collision, let's have one of these cars go over the other car. So I'm going to rotate it through free transform, and then another layer, and then bring the car on top of the other car, and give it some more frames like this. So this is how it will look. They're coming towards each other. There's an accident, one car goes over the other car. And if you press Control Enter, this is what you will look. This is this is what it will look like. Now you can do exactly same thing through motion tween also. But the thing is, you have to have different layers, because remember, one thing can be moved in one layer only. So you can create exactly same animation in motion tween also. So let me add audio effect over here. This is my sound layer. Select anywhere on the layer and then the sound and stream. This that sound. Take a new layer. Select anywhere on the layer, the sound name, and then sync type to stream. That's how you will have sound on your background of your scene. This is one way. You can do exactly same animation through motion tweening also. Let me show you how you do this through the motion tweening. So I'm going to create another file using a similar background. Import the same file, same car images. Okay, which one do I have? Car 1. So I need car 2 now. I can import multiple things together also. Let me select this and then the audio. So I select both of them and import. Now let me show you through motion tweening. So I've got these two cars. Now I'm going to do the same animation in motion tweening. So I'll reduce their size through this tool, free transform, or right click on the car and free transform. So both of these ways you can reduce or rotate or enlarge, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll just create a line over here to show it's something like a road. Now you see this car should be moving towards this car, and this car too will be moving towards this car in the center. When you have both of the objects moving in motion tween, you have to keep them in different. So I separate the two layers because I want to use these two cars in motion tweening simultaneously, move towards each other together. So I created one layer for car 1 and I will cut it from here and okay, paste in the first layer. This car should be in the second layer also. So I've cut this and pasted in the second layer already. So this is first car, second car. The third layer should be background. It should also be in a separate layer. Why? Because these two will be used in motion tween. If you use background, yeah, it will move. But right now, I do not have any background. You can have background, like you can have flowers, whatever. This is the background color of the stage, of the scene. If you have a background, make sure it's another layer. Right now, I have this car in another layer, this car also in another layer. I'm ready to use motion tween. So, let's say create frames until 30. Frames until 30, because this is motion tweening. First step is you do is create frames and then create motion tween. It will ask you to convert to a symbol. You say okay. So this is the car which is on the car 1 layer. On the last keyframe, what should I do? Insert keyframe position and then move the car towards the center. Do the same on the other car also. Right click, create motion tween. Okay. Last keyframe, insert keyframe, position. Now move this car, which is on this layer, towards this car also. Yeah, okay. So the line was also on this layer. So you see it is also moving. Anything which is on that layer will move. That is why you have to have one layer for all the movement. Okay, so let's do this. I will separate the line. I'll separate the line on the new layer, which is the background.